Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here, coach of your Wexford Wailords, and welcome to our week 1 team building video, episode, whatever you want to call it, for the Ultimate Battle League, the UBL, the brand new league on this channel. And we are up against Hanus, coach of the New York Charmanders. Hopefully I pronounced their, what's called the YouTube name right. I'm horrible with these pronunciations, but hopefully we got it dead right there. And it's got a pretty scary team. Funny enough, with the league, we actually we have power rankings and such, and this guy that we're up against is actually just one spot above us. So I'm eager to start. I'm eager to start and see if we can pick up the W and all that, But he does have a very scary, interesting team, as you can see above me now. But I will call it out. We have Mega Galade, Volcano, which is his Z move user, Bisharp, Togekiss, Registeel, Ambipom, Whimsicott, Cofigurus, Torterra, Licky, and Druddigon. So, dangerous, interesting team. Mega Galade, quite fast, quite powerful, but not as fast as our Mega Lopunny for that matter. Volcano as a Z move user is terrifying, because it is very, very, very scary. Then we also have a couple of other interesting stuff knocking around with Bisharp, Togekiss. The Cofigurus for me is actually a little bit of an issue. I was trying to, the last member of my team, I was definitely trying to play around. I was like, how do I deal with this? Another way of dealing with it. But I'm very confident going into this game that we actually have a very nice matchup. Mega Lopunny tears through this team. If you guys haven't seen my draft recap though, definitely go check it out. But the idea behind it was that we would actually wear down the opponent's team, and then Mega Lopunny would come in and pick everything off. And I definitely think this is going to be one of these matches where Mega Lopunny could kind of come in late game if we just keep Mega Lopunny in the back and just pick everything off. But yeah, so that's where we're kind of starting off with in today's episode. We have Mega Lopunny here, and we're going to be rocking out with her. She's going to be the star of the show. We're rocking out with High Jump Kick, Return, Power Punch, and Fake Out as our moveset. 20 HP, 252 attack, 236 speed with the Adamant nature, and that's because there's no one that fast enough for us to on the Charmanders team to force us to be a Jolly nature. And if I can go Adamant and I can get that that attack boost nature, then I'm going to go for it. One of the beauties of having Mega Lopunny is in these scenarios being able to have the adamant nature. So yeah, we're going to be rocking out with that. Which means that a lot of Pokemon that we're going to be up against, once we give them a little bit of chip damage, if we can get roughly 20% on most of this team, 20% damage off on this team, Mega Lopunny kind of comes in late doors and just boom, sweeps, gone, good luck, no chance of a victory. So the idea is just to basically keep Mega Lopunny in the in the back and pick things off as we go along, and that'd be the kind of idea there. And then just basically High Jump Kick, Return standard on Mega Lopunny. He's got nothing that can transform, so I figure there's no point trying to run Frustration then. Power Punch, because there's going to be cases where he will move out into Registeel or Togekiss. I expect Togekiss to be very bulky. I'll get into that a little bit later on. But there's going to be Pokemon is going to be bringing it to kind of sponge up a hit, and we can get a +1, and then of course Return then could actually finish it off, because the idea would be that the Pokemon had enough chip damage where, if we get +1, then we're guaranteed to get that kill with the Return or High Jump Kick, depending on what comes in. And then last night we went for Fake Out, because it's always nice having a little bit of priority in that sense. We do have to watch out though for the Mega Galade, because Mega Galade does have inner focus. So we just got to keep that in mind whenever we actually go out to Mega Lopunny, that Fake Out isn't going to finish this Mega Galade. And if he goes for the Zen Headbutt, he is going to wreck us. So when we do 1v1 against that Mega Galade, we have to click that Return button, and we have to make sure that we're going to pick it off. But yeah, that's our Mega Lopunny. That is the plan. That is what we're going to be bringing. And basically, the team is built around to try and wear down the Charmanders and basically pick everything off after that. With that being said, I decided we're going to be bringing Wicked, our Spiritomb. It was kind of one of the most easiest decisions. The first 3 Pokemon, I kind of was I'm bringing these immediately. I'm bringing Wicked because it 1v1s the Mega Galade every time. We could just stay in. We can go for Shadow. We can stay in against Mega Galade all day. We can just go for Protects, Calm Minds, Foul Plays, Shadow Balls, you name it, we got it. Like, we just wreck them, like, you know. So that is the idea behind Wicked. We can kind of come in and sponge hits like that. We can come in against Bisharp, which is insane to think that we can actually come in on a Bisharp and put in a bit of work there. We can come in on Ambipom. We can come in on Configurus and set up a little bit. The only thing that kind of really does scare me is the Licky Licky, because Foul Play would absolutely wreck the Ambipom, but Licky Licky does kind of wall us a little bit, so we got to watch out for that. And the Togekiss as well. Every time Togekiss comes in here, Togekiss is a free switch every time it comes in here. So that's definitely something that we've got to watch out for. But I think Spiritomb is a nice little Pokemon that we can bring here, just to kind of sit in front of Megalade and a couple of others and just wall it. I said I wouldn't go too fancy with the EVs this week. I really wanted to kind of bring as much bulk as I can in the physical side of it to deal with Bisharp and Megalade in particular. And I said if we could kind of set up a couple of Calm Minds, then that would make us even more difficult to deal with. Particularly against the Volcanion, who I would anticipate having actually the Z Earth Power to kind of break through my Talk specs, but and a couple of others. But I think we're going to be just fine with this. I think Spiritomb is going to put in a good bit of work. I think it'll be really, really good. I'm actually looking forward to seeing him in action this week. So that's the reason why we're bringing the Spiritomb. Very simple, just to kind of, it basically just walls a couple of his main Pokemon, and we have to set up in Calm Mind and Protect. Oh no, sorry, Calm Mind and Protect to kind of bulk up a little bit, and Shadow Balls just absolutely nail things. I'm not bringing Dark Pulse though, because the Shadow Ball really hurts the Megalade. And like, other than Licky Licky, you know, like Shadow Ball does more, if you get me. So that's the reason why we're bringing the and the Shadow Ball does more to Togekiss when it comes in, and Togekiss being the main switch into this Spiritomb, I kind of wanted to be able to counter that a little bit better. So that's the reason why we're bringing Shadow Ball over Dark Pulse. I know Licky Licky can kind of wall us, but we have a Megalopunny. Like, it's all good. It's all good when you have a Megalopunny. Like, you know, we're going to put in work with that, you know, so it's going to be great. After we're bringing EMF are Magneton, Choice Scarf, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Flash Cannon, and Hidden Power Ground. Rocking out with the Magnet Pull ability, 4 in defense, 4 in special defense, 248 special attack, 252 speed, Timid Nature. We don't need 252 in special attack because the other 4 EVs are wasted at level 50, so there's no real need for it. And then we just put the 4s into the defense and special defense because we wanted to keep our odd number HP for if we have to come in on hazards. It's pretty much the same with everybody else here. If you can see that, we have the 20 in bulk here for Megalopunny, just to kind of go with that. But yeah, back to Magneton. We're going to have the reason why I decided to bring Magneton and this Choice Scarf Magnet Pull set is that he's got Bisharp and Registeel that just, you know, that we could kind of trap and pick off slowly, which I'm really a big fan of. And I wanted to be able to, like, we speed type the Volcanion, and I'm anticipating him to actually bring the ground EMZ. And if he does, that means we're going to outspeed him, go for Thunderbolts, Full Switch, and all that kind of good stuff. We do have to watch out for the Flame Charge on the Volcanion, but we should be good enough that we actually do speed tie it and absolutely do wreck it. So of course we have Volt Switch then to give us a bit of momentum, Thunderbolt then to get sheer damage off on the Volcanion and into Togekiss. So this is actually our answer to the Togekiss. We can't bring this in the whole time because Togekiss could actually be packing the Aura Sphere, so we can't actually bring in Magneton the whole time. We do have to kind of be careful with how we bring it in, but Magneton should be able to kind of come in and absolutely do a good bit of damage. Then we have the Flash Cannon as well to kind of as another option to do with Togekiss and the Whimsicott if the Whimsicott is knocking around. And then we have Hidden Power Ground. So the reason why we're going Hidden Power Ground rather than Hidden Power Fire or Fighting, because we could go on fighting to deal with Bisharp a bit more effectively, is because that gives us, we're forced to have 30 EVs, 30 IVs in speed if we go one of those 2 hidden powers. And that means that if for happen chance that it's a Choice Scarf Bisharp or a Choice Scarf Volcanion or something of that ilk. I know Choice Scarf Bisharp isn't exactly a thing, but like, it's League format, you never know. But the Choice Scarf Volcanion is the thing, and if that is the case, then Volcanion does actually outspeed us, so we couldn't allow that. And as well, Hidden Power Ground allows us to hit the Volcanion on a switch, so if he's assuming we're hitting power fire when we actually go to trap the Registeel or Bisharp, and he comes into the Volcanion, and Volcanion is a little bit weakened, I can still go for hidden power ground, knowing that there's a good chance that I actually will be able to O-code if it's weakened enough. So we could definitely kind of play around with that. As well if he's got a Shell on a Registeel and he's able to bring in the Volcanion and we smack it with hidden power ground, the Volcanion is have to get him weakened, and he actually, the Volcano won't have actually a really good source of recovery unless he's bringing Licky Licky for Wish Passing. So that's the kind of idea around Magneton. As well, like having like 120 base special attack, like, you know, it means that we are going to be hitting things quite hard. So I'm very, very happy with that. We're going to be kind of being able to smack a couple of things here, there, and everywhere. And yeah, that's the reason behind Magneton coming this week. So I was kind of very happy with what we were dealing with. Like, we were dealing with a couple of things, offensively, defensively. The Volt switching action with Magneton will be able to chip away at a couple of things for Megalopine to come in and clean up late doors. And basically after that, I was just kind of just giving the team a little bit more support, being able to deal with a couple of more threats knocking around on the rest of his team. Because like once Volcanion gets down to around like 75-60%, it's gone. Like Megalopine comes in every day and deals with that. So yeah, I was kind of very, very happy with how it went out, like how it's all working out. So I was like, yeah, let's go with that. The one thing I should check now, I should check while I'm here, to be honest with you guys, is when it comes to Volcanion, if it's Choice Scarf does outspeed Megalopine. That was something I forgot to check. Let me double check that now with you guys here right in front of me. I'll scroll down the screen in a moment. Base speed to beat them. So he doesn't actually, hold on, let me go neutral. And we're how many EVs are we? 236. 236. So he can outspeed us at the moment with Choice Scarf. So that is something that we're going to have to watch out for, and that is like a very viable option for Megalopine there. But I'm still quite confident with the Adamant Nature because we do pick off way too much at the moment, and if he's Choice Scarf and he's choiced into something, like, he is so going to be worn down, like, you know, and we have answers for him. But I definitely do think he's going to be ground EMZ. I think he has to be ground EMZ because otherwise he won't ever get past my Toxapex. And I expected Togekiss to be bulky because he'd have to use Togekiss as a more of a pivot and to help him deal with hazards, because my team has got superb hazard ability. Now, I've kind of, as I said, I knew I was going to pick these three right off the bat when I saw the team. I knew that these three Pokemon would fit in very, very nicely. Then I was kind of examining the rest of his team, and outside Registeel and Configurus, he doesn't really do too much. He doesn't have too much with the hazards. And even then, like, you know, if he has Registeel, like Registeel isn't a great matchup against my team. I have Magneton that traps it, and I have Megalopine that wrecks it. So Registeel isn't a great pick. So that kind of is Configurus, which has Toxic Spikes, but I then have Toxic Spikes and come in and just absorb them to spikes whenever he's like Configurus is actually trying to set them up. So for me, I wasn't too worried about hazards. I didn't think he had enough viable options to bring hazards this week. I do anticipate Configurus to come, but I think he'll figure out a better move than Toxic Spikes to bring, because I'll have the Toxic Spikes just ready there and lurking. On the flip side of that, though, he doesn't actually have too much removal. Like, other than Togekiss, there's not that many actually reliable hazard removers on his team. So I was there thinking, like, the idea would be like we could definitely hazard stack here, force Togekiss to come in a lot of the time, take damage, defog, give us momentum. You kind of get me. But like, that is generally my playstyle when it comes to these leagues: get the houses up and just wear people down. So I never figured that, you know, we could kind of work with that. So I figured the next Pokemon that we have to bring should be our Stealth Rock user. On top of that as well, I was kind of looking for something that might be a little bit more offensive. I didn't really fancy bringing Fortress this week because Volcanion is such a huge threat, and I didn't want to give Volcanion so much. I didn't want to give Volcanion. I didn't want to give him the option to bring Volcanion so many times and get momentum, because if I bring Fortress, that's not going to work. If I bring Torkoal, that's not going to work. He can just bring Volcanion in every time and get momentum each and every turn. And I kind of didn't want my Rock Setter to be such a liability when it comes to that. Rhyperior as well. I couldn't bring Rhyperior to set up rocks. That was going to be a nightmare. So that kind of left me with Mesprit, or what's called Charm the Mesprit. Hopefully I pronounced it right this time. But I said I'd go with an offensive an offensive variant on Mesprit this time. So Charm is going to be a little bit more offensive this week. I figured that I should have like an offensive Stealth Rocker. Actually might be quite useful this week, especially with the speed tiers that his team is at. I figured that actually would be a really good help. So we're bringing Stealth Rock, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, U-Turn. The Bolt Beam on his team does a really good amount of work. Togekiss doesn't come in on it at all. Bolt Beam just smacks it. Ice Beam smacks the Whimsicott. Ice Beam smacks the Torterra. Ice Beam smacks the Druddigon. Thunderbolt smacks the Volcanion. Yeah, does a good bit. It does a really good bit. We also, like, both moves kind of do hurt the Mega Blade a little bit, but Mega Blade's got naturally good special bulk, so it'd be chip damage for Mega Lopunny to come in and pick him off afterwards, if that's the case. And then we have U-turn, so we get a little bit of a Volturn core going on, so we can kind of keep momentum on our side of the field, which is very, very important. After I kind of decided, you know, we'll go with we'll split the attack spread and all that kind of up. So let me just kind of go into the EVs a little bit more. We have 180 speed with the hasty nature, 248 special attack because we don't need the extra 4 EVs. Again, waste EVs at level 4, so no need. And then we have 80 in attack to kind of bring to give U-turn a little bit more bite. So if he comes in with a bite sharp or something like that that I know will kind of do a bit of harm, I can kind of U-turn out from that. So 180 and speed basically allows us to outspeed every single base 70 Pokemon that he has. So the Bisharp, the Bisharp, what else was it? Volcanion, and then he has a lot of other Pokemon that are slower than that, like Configuous, Torterra, Lickilicky, Druddigon. They're all slower than that. Togekiss does outspeed, but as I said, I am anticipating a bulky Togekiss, so I'm actually not too worried about not outspeeding it with Charmed. But on top of that, then we actually take any hit from Togekiss. Any hit that comes our way, we can sponge it. So I wasn't too worried about that. I figured we should be able to do enough. I'm bringing the Expert Belt because Bolt Beam hits super effectively on so many Pokemon, and knowing that we won't have any kind of wish passing going on in this team, nor holding leftovers. I didn't want to kind of go with the Life Orb option because I didn't want Mesprit to be whittled down and worn out. So that is Charmed. I think Charmed will put in a nice bit of work actually in this matchup. I think the coverage. I love the coverage. The coverage is just great. I feel Mesprit's going to be so offensive a lot of the time in this league, guys. I have a really good feeling Mesprit's going to be putting in a little bit of work for us. But that's Charmed. Really looking forward to using her. I want to say it's a her. But really looking forward to using her, and it should put in a nice bit of work. After that, I decided to bring Toxapex. So we're going to be bringing Toxapex this week. We're bringing 252 HP, 36 defense, 220 special defense with the calm nature. That allows us, this EV spread allows us to live a, it means that Earth Power from Volcanion is only a 3-hit KO on this Toxapex, which is insane. So if he goes Z move, if he goes Z Earth Power, then, like, you know, like we'll I think the maximum it does is like 89%, and we can recover that off with Regenerator, which is absolutely awesome. And then, you know, once we kind of get back up a little bit more to our health, Volcanion would be in a world of trouble. Like, you know, we can just we can just kind of come in and deal with it very, very nicely. I don't want, you know something, I'm not going to go with Baneful Bunker though, because Toxapex does have the water absorb, and that for me is not fun. That for me is just not fun. So what I am going to do, I'm going to go recover. I'm just going to go recover. I think that might be better because do I want recover? Live team build here, folks. I swear I did this all. I was tossing the term about Baneful Bunker because Baneful Bunker allows me to sponge the a predicted move, a predicted ground ground AMZ, or like Tectonic range Earth Power. So it does allow me to do that, but I do have an immunity in Charm. So that was actually one of the other reasons why I said I'm in Toxapex, because I do have a ground immunity in Charmed to kind of go with somewhat of a ground weakness that we have. So could go recover. Do I want to go? Do I actually want to use a poison type move? Do I want to go Sludge Wave or Sludge Bomb? I kind of want to go Sludge Bomb or Sludge Wave. Just to as another option. I'm gonna go Sludge Wave. I think we'll go Sludge Wave, to be honest. Yeah, I think we'll go Sludge Wave. Why not? Why not? Because it'll give us, yeah, we'll go Sludge Wave. Yeah, we'll go Sludge Wave because that means Volcanion. It's not, yeah, it means that we're not as passive against Volcanion. So I'll go Sludge Wave, and with Regenerator I can just switch Pokemon around because he won't want to. Because the idea would be that we'll have the spikes up and Volcanion will just not want to stay in against us. It's pretty much the idea. Is if Volcanion would be like, I'm going to get worn down here by being poisoned, and we just slowly but surely, gradually wear it out, and that'll be that. It'll be great fun. That's the idea. So yeah, Toxapex can kind of deal with Volcanion quite a bit. It can deal with Bisharp a little bit, but not overly much. Deals with Togekiss brilliantly. Whimsicott can't really touch it. We can kind of come in and just annoy Cofagrigus as much as we want. Drodagon again, we can kind of sponge a couple of hits off that. Like, and we stop Selp as well. Like the haze doesn't really. We could haze stuff out and all that kind of stuff. The only kind of real things that kind of worry me with this thing is like the Torterra, very scary. But it's very scary. But I don't see him bring Torterra and Mega Gallade. But we have Wicked as our answer for Mega Gallade, and hopefully Wicked could stay around until Mega Gallade is no longer really a threat anymore. So that's the idea behind that. As well, we get our Toxic Spikes up, and that should be grand. I know I'm after keeping you guys around a fair bit, so I'm just going to try and wrap up very quickly. We have Neat, our what's called Celtic God of War, coming this week as well. Pretty much there was 2 reasons why I decided to go for to bring Neat this week over something else. I was trying to look at something that would smack Cofagrigus super hard. I mean super hard. I was just going to terrified and get to go out. So I figured let's bring the Tapu Bulu with the the Bloom Doom Woodhammer. As well, the Grassy Surge will help the likes of Wicked and Toxapex from getting a bit more extra recovery along the way as we're trying to wear out the other team. And then on top of that, like the speed tier suits us brilliantly. Like again, other than Togekiss, we outspeed like pretty much the other half of his team. Like I think it was Whimsicott, Ambipom, Mega Gallade, Togekiss. Everything else we outspeed. So I figured let's bring the Tapu Bulu this week and have a bit of fun with it. As I said, I wanted the Z Woodhammer, the Bloom Doom, to absolutely nail the Cofagrigus and put mad damage on that. Superpower down to deal with Bisharp, Registeel, that kind of thing. Swords down to the end is a bit of a setup when we force a switch. And then of course, the one, I was kind of trying to figure out my last coverage move, but I said, you know something, let's go for Nature's Madness, because he's going to have a couple of Pokemon he can switch into on us. Like the Volcanion can kind of, well not really, the Volcanion can't really come in, but it'll have 1 or 2 stuff like the Registeel can kind of come in on us, and if we can get Nature's Madness off on that, wear it down, superpower, boom, gone. That kind of thing. So I said Nature's Madness would be a good way to just get more chip damage off on his team, and again, allow Mega Lopunny to sweep late doors. But yeah, that's the team, you guys. I'm sorry that this went over a little bit. I haven't done a team building episode in quite some time, so I'm sorry if I rambled a little bit, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys have an insight as to what we're bringing, why we're bringing it, that kind of thing. If you guys have any comments on the team, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about what I should have brought, that kind of thing, what you would have done differently. If you enjoyed today's video, please click like one down below for me. And if you guys have, oh, by the way, the link to Hanos' channel is in the description down below, so definitely go check him out. And last one is, if you want to see more Wexford Wailords action coin away on this channel or more content in general, please smash that subscribe button down below for me. On that note, I'm going to out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.